something. Ma, you still here? Let us know in the comments if you still here, Ma.
Do that mean that that's always right there? Well,
I don't know how accurate it is.
You are listening to the Unapologetic Podcast, starring the actual, factual Kimberly Smith and Sir Goodwin Live, weekly podcast based around Black culture, current events, entertainment, best friend series, Black love series, and controversial and informative topics and shows featuring special guests. Subscribe, listen, and follow on all podcasts and social media platforms.
Unapologetic Podcast live Friday night, season 7, debut of our Black Love series with the Lawrences.
Yes.
Straight like that.
The actual and factual Kim Smith is in the building. How are you?
Blessed, black, and highly favored. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. It's Friday. Can never complain
Amen
about
to
a
that.
Friday night.
Come on with y'all 3-day weekend.
Black love is black royalty is in the building. You'll see why as you continue to listen and watch live on Facebook and Instagram. You can always follow us on all podcast platforms. Show will be up a little bit later. But we welcome Jada and Tyron Lawrence to the show.
Thank
How you all doing tonight?
Good.
I like
Thank
how you
y'all so much
introduced
for having
us.
us.
Yes.
Yeah. How you all doing well?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we are good. We're excited. We
Okay.
love stuff like this.
Oh,
Know,
good.
sharing our stories and just love in general. So we're happy to be here.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us about your where we can find you all on IG, not to be creeps or anything, but to purchase stuff, and you are a relationship coach. So tell us
Yes.
where we can find you.
Absolutely. I am Jada Sharice on all social media platforms. That's JADASHARISE. You can follow me. And my website is jadasharice.com. I am a relationship coach, as Anthony mentioned, and I help women heal from their past and prepare for the love life that they're praying for. So yes, Billionaire in Progress, as we're wearing. This is our clothing line here. These are our Billionaire in Progress breast cancer awareness shirts.
Love that.
So you can go to billionaireprogress.com to get your shirt. Anthony is also wearing his Billionaire in Progress shirt. So
Yes.
we in the building. We here.
Billionaire in Progress. I don't know if you all are billionaires already. I'm not. So
That's why I said in progress.
I am.
Claiming it.
This is current.
Yes.
This is a current shirt because I am a billionaire in progress.
Exactly.
I'm ready to make each day, just don't matter what day it is.
Yeah.
You know, just let it be.
Go on and claim it.
Right. Now, I don't care what day it is. I don't care what the amount is. You know, it's just going to be a Black love day every day.
Every day.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Good to
love
hear.
it.
All right. Before we get into, I'm very interested to find out relationship coach. But you are here with Tyron, your fiance. Where did you all meet, and how did this become one?
How did this spark?
Yes. Such a great question, babe. Would you like to go?
No, you started off.
Well, he'll jump in if he don't agree with a part of the story, so he'll be in soon. So we actually met at work.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we were at work, and he should have been upstairs in his department. My department was downstairs. And somehow, he kept ending up in my space, in my area where I was working. And he was so nice, he would bring me my checks and like my drinks and, just helping me clean off my tables. And I heard, around the way that he really liked me. Like, man, he crazy about you. And I was just like, I would never. And here we are. So honestly, I was judging a book by its cover.
Okay.
I was also in a really broken space. So I was just like, number one, I'm not even looking to date anybody for real. And I said that he just wasn't my type.
Okay.
But I learned that sometimes your type isn't your type.
Amen.
And I also had been praying for what we have. So with me judging a book by its cover, I had to actually open that book. I had to get to know him. I had to have conversations with him and it was a story that I never wanted to stop
What is
reading.
judging a book by its cover?
Ooh, okay, great question. Judging a book by its cover is, I mean, it could be a few different things. So for me to say, okay, he's not my type, I was looking at him like, oh, I don't like the dreads. He kind of short, you know, stuff like that. But then I also knew that he had a child, and I had just came from a very traumatic experience, and I was just like, it's gonna be messy, it's gonna be the same thing, like just looking from the outside in. I'm not dealing with it. I vowed to never date
Baby
anybody.
mama drama is a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
And I was just like, I don't want to be a part of that. And then I was just like, he looked like he from the streets.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
I'm talking about judging him.
Okay.
And I was so wrong, and I learned my lesson. And a lot of times we are looking for someone who check all the boxes.
Right.
When it's some boxes that are just most important. You know what I mean? You have
Absolutely.
your deal breakers, and it's like, what do you need mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? And he checked all those boxes.
Look at God.
So yeah, I was judging him, and then I got to know him. I started talking to him, and I was actually the one who was just like, "Can I call you?"
Oh, wow.
Although he had my number, he asked for it, but I was just so busy. I mean, I was busy. I'm not gonna do that. I was busy, but he felt like I was just playing around and just, you know, giving the cold shoulder. But the more that I talked to him, I was just like, he is amazing. Like, and look at me judging him. Didn't even know him.
Right.
Didn't have a conversation with him. But what do you think, babe? Any thoughts?
Yeah.
He said he had to
I
get
told
his
y'all,
sip of
hey,
wine
you
first,
be here.
okay?
Pull that mic a little closer. See you real cool, so you're not gonna be talking too loud. Talking to that mic for me.
Well, you are wrong on a few things.
Oh my God.
Clean it up for us.
All
Okay.
right.
They
was-
usually are.
I was in the work area that I was supposed to be in that day. You mentioned that I was. You mentioned that I was short. I'm 6 feet tall. How short? How short do you know? How short?
I was thinking that
Short, but you
I
know.
don't know
you-
what I was saying.
You
I
know,
promise you.
you know this. You know the stigma that people put on you, as in when they not interested in you, like
Right.
he's short, he's this and that, and then it's like when the light comes, it's like, oh my goodness, like he's tall, he handsome, this, but 2 years ago I was just this person with dreads from the streets. Yes, I am who I am, but at the same time, don't judge a book by its cover.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? So it's just like, we from the streets got a little game to ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, don't judge me. And I think a lot was from a prospect from her was she never had that before. And not to take it away or bringing up past situations, when you're used to what you're used to, that's what you're used to. And so when you get someone different, you look at them like, oh no, that's what my mom and daddy told me to stay away from. But at the same time, I'm that same preppy boy just with a different attitude. You know what I'm saying? And then not necessarily preppy boy, but that mindset where it's just like, I could be, you know, I can love you. You know, I can show you how to love, you know, those type of things. But as far as going back into everything, I think it was more of when I first seen her, I knew it was just like, damn, like I want her, you know. And it was a weird moment, and certain things we saving for the wedding, so I don't want to give up too much. But the first time that I seen her, I was just like, oh hell no, like that ain't who I thought from a mile away. Just like she had this hairstyle, and it's like she was judging me. I wasn't judging her, but it's just like, come on, you can do.
I'm gonna say I was judging though, right?
I
You
was-
seen my hair and was just like, hell no.
Well, clearly both of y'all was judging him.
Exactly.
No. I still wanted her, but it's like,
okay.
you come to work looking like that, and
But
it was
like a
no, it wasn't.
Girl.
It wasn't a bad hairdo. It was just
Let
like,
me tell you how my hair was.
Please.
I had it parted across.
Okay.
I had a little bun up here, and the back was curled.
Oh, she had an up and down.
Yeah, and granted, like my curls do shrink, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So they was like up here.
Right.
So I think, you know, he seen that and was just like, nah, but I mean,
Oh, it was your natural hair.
it was my natural hair. Now he loves my natural hair. Now he
Of course.
wants me to wear my natural
Of
hair.
course.
but and that goes back into playing into what I said, as in now when you look at a situation years ago, it's just like, how did I even, you know?
Yeah.
But there's also the same situation where she said that I have 2 children, right? Outside of our relationship, but it's still to a point where women, men, you know, we scared to date someone with children, but at the same time, we don't look at it's so stereotype where it's just like, what about the ones who have children that you trying to date someone without children because you don't understand the world that I live in either.
True, yeah.
So we look at it, we're always looked at, oh yeah, baby mama drama. But now how about you don't know how to help, you don't know how to raise a child. You can't teach me how to raise a child because you don't have a child. Or you don't
we'll go back to that one.
But
Yeah.
or in a man's standpoint, or however you want to flip it, vice versa, it's still I look at it in its own way where it's just like, okay, this is what I have on the table. Is she ready for that as well?
Can she? I understand. Can she step in and help with this dynamic?
Exactly. Especially being a young father with full custody of my son, it's to a point like it's just me and him.
Understood.
And so now, her coming into it is just like it's a big challenge where it's just like I understood why she fell back because of past situations, but I was still that same way. It was like, well, I got a son too. Like
I agree. That's different. That's
Yeah.
especially full-time dad.
Yes.
Shout out to you. But yes, I could understand that you don't have any children.
Exactly.
Okay, then you step in and it's like you are instant mom.
Mhm.
So I respect that.
That's another story, but that's something that we had to work out. And I'll get into that within my content, but I want to help women understand, you don't have to be this instant mom, but you do have to have some things about you that you contribute to him, him and his son or him and his kids, whoever you date, it's a package deal. But at the same time, there has to be communication. Like, just don't throw your kids on me. You know what I mean? Like, you have to communicate, ease the kids, onto me, and we build a relationship, etc. But that's another story. So,
Okay.
So what made you, did you see like wife material? What made you kind of be consistent even though she was kind of, throwing you to the left? What was it in her that you saw that made you say, okay, this is somebody I'm going to show that I am the one for her?
That's a great question.
Her attitude.
Okay.
Sometimes and it's not trying to be, I'm not trying to be stereotypical. It's more of what you're used to, like what you're used to from like the cursing, like every word that comes out of her mouth is not a cussing word, or it's just not, and it's nothing against anyone who does it, you know what I'm saying, because I curse, but at the same time, it's still the way it's different, where it's just not a vocabulary that she uses, it's the energy that she gives you, it's the how's your day going today, and this is not even us, and I'm not even telling us about us being engaged, but it's just these are the type of questions. How was your night last night? You know what I'm saying? Like, what game you watching? Oh, I'm watching the Bulls game. Who's winning? She's not even interested in those type of things. Something that's pushing the conversation longer and longer, and it's just like we're on the phone for those conversations. 20-minute, 15-minute phone call. It was supposed to be now. It's 2 hours. We started up in here. Next thing you know, I'm in the tub talking on the phone, or I'm in the bed, or I'm in the
you sitting on the refrigerator.
Exactly. And so it's just like, so it was that energy that she gave me that made me feel like, you know what, like I need that. It was something refreshing. No matter if it's something that you may have experienced, it was still something refreshing to, something new.
Yeah.
So
we didn't mention this, but we were best friends for about 2.5 years before we even made the commitment.
Okay.
And before we decided to commit to each other, we went on a 30-day fast.
Okay.
So no talking to each other, no seeing each other, nothing. Because we really knew, even in the beginning, like for him to know what he was looking for or like why I wanted to be persistent, we both just wanted something for real this time. You know what I mean? Like going through something in your past and it's just like, I want a husband, I want a wife. So we wanted to make sure that this wasn't lust, that it wasn't us forcing anything, that God was really telling us, no, this is who I have for you. So we went on that fast and girl, it was like day 3 and I was just like, oh my God.
So like who thought of the 30-day fast? Like explain to me like where that came, why that came about.
So I came up with it.
Come on, son.
I came up with it.
Oh, okay. I was like,
We're
dang.
gonna have a nice conversation in the car about this.
I was just kidding.
No.
I didn't even know anything about fasting. Like I had heard about it, but when I say he elevated me spiritually, like he introduced me to fasting, and it started with our fast as friends. So go ahead.
Got it.
So it was more of the fasting part that I just told her like we were at this rough spot, and she came to me where she was just like, either we're gonna be together right now, because it was actually before you get into that, you have to also mention the fact that you have to mention the fact that what we were going through was tough, where it was just like I want you, but then it's like, now you really don't want me, or it's just like I came to her like when I was having my baby girl, and it was just like a tough decision to tell her. And this one, of course, we were still friends. We were friends. We weren't best friends at this moment.
Right.
And so when I was telling her, just like I have a baby on the way, it was in my head all day, just thinking like, how do I tell her that I have a daughter on my way when she knows that I like her, and I know that she's like me, but we've never confessed it. But we're at that point, we're just like, you know what, like I like you, and I said to myself, before this gets any, just if this gets further, I have a daughter.
You gotta tell her.
And I told her, and she dropped her head, and it's like,
I cried.
And I was just
about to ask,
mind you, this is just my friend,
right?
But emotionally, I was there,
right?
And I just felt like he cheated on me. We wasn't even together, but it's just like,
and we had no relations, never kissed,
we weren't
anything.
friends with benefits. We were literally just friends. And when he told me that, it's just like, oh my God, like my heart was broken because one, I had already vowed to never date somebody with kids again because I had a really bad experience. And then I was just like, well, he's a single dad. He has custody over his son. Maybe it won't be that bad. So I started opening up like, okay, I think I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna try this. And then you tell me you got another daughter on the way, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean?
Wait, don't say it.
Well,
not another, but I have another child
on the way, right?
On the way.
So how long had y'all been best friends before your daughter came?
So
we were still friends.
We was just this was 2015 when we met each other.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
February 2015 when we met each other. I told her January of 2016.
Oh wow! So like the
and we didn't.
It wasn't January.
It was January.
It was before. It was before the holiday party. I
So
want to
this
say it
was
was like November.
Okay, maybe it was November, December, around that time. So we were still in our own lives at that time. So I would say around November of 2015 is when we got cool. Started really texting each other, talking on the phone,
checking in on each other.
She was just coming out of a relationship. I was just coming out of a situationship, and so it's just like now we're spending more time with each other on the phone, seeing each other at work, and then I finally, told her just like, before I gotta tell you this because I like you.
Girl, my heart, it was years ago, and my heart just broke for you.
Real?
Oh, God, okay.
You can relate.
And so to speed things up from January all the way to January 2016, all the way up to July 2017, even baby girl, she's a year and a half years old at this time. Now, me telling her actually strengthened our friendship. Like that really built our friendship because it was like, she realized I could be truthful with her, and at the same time, it's nothing for me to hide.
And what you want to hide it.
And it's no disrespect to us. Like it's either you're gonna accept it or you're not. Not to a fact as in like you're gonna accept what.
An ultimatum.
Exactly. So it's just like this is what it is, and if you want to fall back, that's fine too. But it's like this is what it is. So we just really got strong, and then around like July, it came to a point where she was just like. Either we're gonna be together or we not. Wait. Because I was trying to break up with you. Mind you, we're just friends.
Oh, okay.
And I had told him once his daughter was born, I was just like, you know what? I'm not built for this. I just wanted to see if they were gonna get back together. Because I've seen that, kids bring people closer to each other, and I don't want you to figure out your life with me in it. You know what I mean? Like,
say that again.
I don't want you to figure your life out with me in it.
Come on.
Okay, so take me out and figure you like the evidence.
Yes.
I'm like, take me out, and I just really wanted him to figure out, okay, what do I want? You know what I mean? So I told him. I tried to break up with him or whatever, and I was just like, I was in the bathroom walking around the house, and I was just like, I think that y'all should just figure it out, like, you just had your daughter, etc. And he was just like, no, like, I'm telling you, this is it, etc. But even after that, I want to say it was a year after Liberty was born, right? And then it was just like, okay, they're not going to get back together. You know, he's still being very persistent. I'm not worried about anything. He's communicating with me. You know, we still hanging out. He still have time for me. And I had asked so many people, you know, like, what you think? Should I date him? Should I? And so many people was just like, no. 90% of the people was just like, he not gonna have time for you, girl. You too young. It's gonna be baby mama drama. And I'm so glad I didn't go with the advice. I prayed. I prayed because your experience may not be my experience. Exactly. You know what I mean? What God has for me is for me. So I didn't listen to the advice. I prayed, and then I want to say, so when Liberty was born, it was like a year, and then I think we was just like, okay, you know, like let's kind of see where this goes.
And then tell us about the 30-day fast. That's what we were doing.
Right
around July of 2017. That's when it came to a point where she was like, it's either we're gonna be together or we're not. At that point,
sorry, babe. I'm sorry, y'all. I just realized that was a year, so what you said was right. Because I was thinking a year. Sorry. I'm really good about saying I was wrong, so I just want to say I was wrong. Go ahead, babe.
So
I was wrong.
When 2017 came July, she told me was just like, I don't think that either we're going to be together right now or we're not. In my mind, I knew that she didn't mean that we were going to be together because I knew that she had hesitations. Still, even though with our relationship, friendship, like as strong as it's ever, truthful, we've been out of town together, still didn't do nothing together, nothing, still at that point. But it still came to a point where it was just like, we gonna do this or not? It's just like, I know that you really have your one foot in and one foot out. So it's just like, you don't mean that. So I just said, you know what, look, how about we do a fast? And a fast meaning just not talking to each other for 30 days. 30 and it's just like no social media. Like I went off social media because usually when I fast, I always go off social media. But no social media, no texting, no calling, no anything. And the crazy thing, how I aligned, it was just like her birthday is August the 11th. We went on that fast July like the 10th, and it wasn't meaning to.
Oh wow!
And it wasn't mean. We wasn't thinking like we're gonna come back on your birthday.
It just so happened that way.
Yeah. And with that fast, it kind of put me over to a point where it's like I realized that you have to move on from her because you went down this road too long with her. Now I'm getting mentally stronger because I know let me put it like this, the big fish isn't in the ocean anymore, and I'm not going fishing for it now anymore. And it's just like I'm taking care of my responsibilities as a father. I'm going to work. And another good thing was she had just left the job we were working.
So y'all weren't working together.
Exactly. So many things aligned the way that it was supposed to go in that mindset of saying like everything is on the table for you to get away from her. And so when that happened, I realized that that's it. It came down to like the last week, and I was talking to one of the guys, older guys. I always talk to him for advice, and he was just telling me, it's just like if she can't meet you where you are at a certain point, that's not the person for you. And it's just like I was like, you know what, that's that. And then after the fast, it was just like it was just like I called her. I don't know. It was before your birthday. It was the day before your birthday, I want to say. No, actually, it was on your birthday. So we always have this 12 o'clock thing. We always, happy birthday. I didn't reach out to her at 12 o'clock.
And I'm out of town. In Arizona for my birthday, and I'm just waiting for him to text me, and he didn't text me. And I was just like, dang, like this is it. Mind you, I'm heartbroken again because I'm coming back from the fast, like I'm ready to marry him. Like I love him. I want to be with him. I figured it out. And he came back from the fast like I'm done with her. Yeah, so the tables turned, and I was so proud of him for realizing his worth.
Yes.
Because men, sometimes they don't realize that they're the catch too. It's not just women, you know what I mean? So he figured out, hey, I know my worth. I know what I'm bringing to the table. I'm not going to keep chasing her when I know I'm a good man, when I know that I can be what she needs me to be.
Right.
But I can't be the one just chasing her. She got to want me back.
Absolutely.
So coming from the fast, I was just like, oh, this is it. We can be together. And sometimes he would answer the phone, sometimes he wouldn't. He would text back, sometimes he wouldn't. He'll take 5 hours to text me back. And I'm just like, that's not how we are.
The gaps.
So I had called my friend and I was just like, listen, do you think he still want to be with me? Oh, before I had called her, I had woke up one day. It was late August, so after our fast, a few weeks after, he was still giving me the cold shoulder. But I woke up and God told me, that's your husband. And I was just like, wait a minute, God, like, are you sure? And I sat up and I just started praying and stuff. And I called my friend because, he was acting funny. And I'm just like, do you think like he still like me? Do you think he still gonna want me? And she was like, yes, he loves you. Like, that is your husband. So he sent me, right? He sent me this song. What?
You want to get a friend to shut up?
Yeah, sure, Tangy. I thought because sometimes he likes to slow the story down. So.
No.
And I'm gonna let y'all come in because we just talking.
No,
talking.
we listen, please. That's why y'all are here. Give the people what they need.
So when she told me that, like, girl, he loves you. Like, y'all are gonna be fine. I'm like, are you sure? Because he acting real funny, etc. And he ended up randomly sending me this song. I remember I was sitting at the end of the bed. And he sent me this song by New Edition. And it's titled, I'm Still in Love. Girl, I wanted to fall out.
Yes, New Edition.
I was so happy. It was just like, oh my God. I had never heard that song before.
Yeah, and the thing, go ahead.
I thought she was going to say On My Own.
No, that's rude.
Because they both believed in each other before they
Right.
really
I know. I'm just like that.
We broke up like twice.
And the thing about it was when I sent her that song, like,
Hey y'all, thanks for joining. Sorry, babe.
you know how it is. Like, you driving, you thinking about that guy, you thinking about, that girl, just them Lakeshore drives or like whatever it is. Especially I know.
Yes.
And so when you say to yourself, just like, damn, I need her, but at the same time, it's really effort too, because it's like you put me through something mentally and that drained me. You know what I'm saying?
Respect that.
Like I put a lot of effort, and then to get back, it's just like it's not. I invested too much to lose, so it's just like you know what? Like I'm done. But then you just have those moments. It's like, oh man,
Like, that was my girl.
Yes, come on with the
I need her, and then it's just like we wasn't even. Were we texting when I sent you that message?
We were texting,
Oh,
but
it was small, and then I just sent her the. She actually
5 and 6 hours in between.
Yeah, but you gotta get on. She jumped on. That's her second time. I ain't say nothing about the first time because you said that was a word. No, you said that was a word. Then she like, nah, that's a word. Like, I remember a lot, but yeah,
Okay.
I ain't want to say nothing. But
5 and 6 hours is a lot.
But so when I sent her the song, it was still just like a damn. Did I just send her that song? And it's just like and it's just like, you know what? After that, we just sped it up a little bit, but I still was a little dry because now I was being careful of what I was doing, and I had to realize like, don't put all your eggs in that basket because she may get something that she wants, but that's not what she really wants.
Sure.
Don't give her a high. You know what I'm saying? Make her really want to make her fiend for it, but at the same time, give her portions of who you are and what you really about, and show her. And once that happened, it was just like on from the races right then and there. And then it was like 1 week, like straight, like you want to tell that part?
let me say this. I feel like this happened. It seems like it happened over 20 years.
Yeah, right.
It didn't really happen over 20 years. I've been knowing this young man for 20 years now. And how old are you?
31.
Yeah, so he was a little boy.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know if he was a little boy.
Right.
Pooh said, hey y'all.
Hey,
she on Facebook. Most of your sisters and your family are watching.
Oh,
So, for this to happen, this is a lot of drama within about how many years?
2.5.
15 to 17?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah. 2.5.
Yeah.
And so what after all this went down how long did it take you to say, this is going to be my wife, and propose? After the fast? And
no, she gonna be my girl, and I was gonna keep it slow, like build it slow, but we got together in 2017. I proposed to her in 2020, so 3 years.
Okay.
If that's what, that's the question you asked.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but I already knew it was just with me. It was just a matter of how you wanted to do it. Like we just bought a house last year.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So it's just like, you know what? How can I do it? I could have did it 3 months before August of last year when I proposed to her. Like it was just me, was just timing, doing her birthday around the same time, housewarming, blah blah blah. So it's just like I've been had the green light to do it a long time ago, but it's just like this is how I want to make it a meaningful moment. You know, like
You
she ain't
proposed?
going nowhere either. So it's just like
Solidified. I said she ain't going nowhere.
So I think this is our first engaged
couple.
couple.
Really?
When is the
Yeah.
wedding?
next year.
Next year,
year,
2022.
Oh, next
That's-
August. Nice. Okay.
Destination?
No, it's
No,
here.
it's gonna be here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And you proposed at the housewarming? Did I see that right?
We went to
It was
it was
tied into
a
it.
dinner.
Okay,
We just
right.
had a engagement / housewarming / birthday party. whatever you call it.
I was
Oh.
crying all day.
The thing behind that was that I wanted to make it as meaningful as possible. Like we closed on our house in July, the middle of July.
Oh, nice.
And when I say like she had no idea, like I'm talking about, I was building stuff, getting
Y'all
floors
was like, why is
fixed,
he doing the
like
most?
getting this house in order together. Like we got, and I take forever to do some of everything. Like if she tell me to put something up, baby, I asked you to put it up, and man, we still get mad. Like shut up, like whatever. But
Wait,
but,
you be telling me to shut up?
in my head.
Just
But
say it.
so when all that came about, it was just like I want this to be the perfect moment. Like she will not expect what I'm doing. I'm trying to throw off house energy, like as in like
Of
I wanna get this house
she think
together.
I'm excited for this house, but I know in my mind like she would not be expecting this, and then
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All together.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't forget the birthday. You can't forget the anniversary.
Exactly.
Boom, boom, boom.
One quick thing I want to say. So when we were still friends and I was breaking up with him, I had wrote him a 4-page letter of why I didn't want to be with him. I told him why I didn't want to be with him. And I just had these unrealistic expectations, and I had these standards. And basically, I was writing my own story instead of letting God, guide me and direct me. So after I fast, I was already telling people that we was together. I had my girls and I was like, I got a boyfriend, we together now. Wasn't even together. But then for his birthday, we went out and I wrote him a 7-page letter of why I wanted to be with him. Because I knew that he was going to be asking, like, why now? Like, what changed? You just wrote me this letter last year. Now you told me you want to be with me. So I wrote him a 7-page letter of why I wanted to be with him. And I gave him some other gifts. So then about a week, like every single day, I was just like, so we together now? Like, are we together yet? Like every day I would ask him, and then he told me, like, I'll let you know tomorrow about 10 or something like that. Yes.
Not like it's a contract. Look, I'm gonna let you know tomorrow about 10.
At that point,
Right.
it was more about answering that question to myself, like, why is she doing it now?
Now, right.
Was there, and this is just honestly, like, was there somebody around?
Got it.
And now they gone.
And now they gone, and now
I
you
get
got
that.
time for me. Are you done with that person finally? Or what is it? Because now something, things
What
don't just
changed?
like
Yeah.
the fast was over August. We're talking about my birthday is in middle of September. Now we at the end of September. So now we talking about a month and a half. You felt that we were together, you felt that way, but you didn't really, pursue it as in like for a month and a half. So I was just like,
What were you doing?
what were you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes back
That's a good way to put
into
it.
what
Was
you
she
said.
sowing her royal oats?
Exactly. And it also goes back to men knowing our worth as well too,
Yes.
because it's like you're not pushing this like this for no reason.
Right.
So it's just like, you know what? Sit back, watch her. I'm just saying, like, if you
He's a different dynamic. Do you hear me? So he's not here letting the men know. Excuse you. Know your worth. Are you a Christian Baptist? Like, were you okay?
Yes.
See, yeah, I knew as soon as he said fasting, you said, you know, see, yeah, I grew up in the Baptist church. We also Christian, and we live by fasting. So, love that.
So just watching her, you know, it's just like, okay, she's persistent a little bit, but at the same time, like, she's too persistent. You know, you always got to be cautious for somebody that's rushing into something well, because it's like, is she lonely? Is she dealing with a heartbreak? Is she trying to be repaired? Is she trying to heal herself with me? And you know what happens when you coming out of a toxic situation, you're gonna bring that toxic into our relationship. And so now I'm looking at it like, nope. Nope.
Oh, I have mercy.
And so
that's a different story, girl.
And so now it's just like, it finally came to the day where it was just like, you know what? We're gonna be together. And it was just like, all right, you watched it long enough. Like, yes, we're together. And
let me tell you this. Can't nobody ever told you. Ain't nobody ever tell you didn't have to work. I tell you that because wow. I mean, I love it. I meet men very rarely that will stand their ground when it comes to women. Because the thing is, I feel like most men are pushed into situations because y'all are tired of us bugging you. Yeah. You know what I mean? But for a man to step back and say, oh no, you won't bring that toxicity and that BS over here. Yeah. That's amazing.
Well, he had already put in a lot of work early.
Okay, which
and she made him. She made him work for it.
Okay.
And so then I didn't already put in this work. You trying to make me put in some more work?
Exactly.
Some more work? So no. Okay, we gonna turn this thing around.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Before we get into love languages, I want to ask you, Tyron, you are you're to be in a marriage with a relationship coach.
Yes.
How is it living with a relationship coach? Because relationship coaches should have all the answers.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I think it's kind of, let me put it like this, and this is nothing towards her. If she ever took the approach as in she knew everything, it'd be a contradictory statement in its own way. So if she was ever that way where I know everything, if someone is always right, then your relationship is wrong as well. So the way that I look at it as in, I always listen to what she says. I mean, I say nothing to her that first day, that first hour. I come back to her 5 days later and like, remember this conversation that you said about such and such? I felt you were wrong. And she'll ask me why. And I'll break it down to her why. And then she'll tell me like, wow, you were right. And she was like, I'm sorry. You know, and at times we'll have like, why are you coming to me now about it? Because sometimes men, we have to process certain things at certain times. Like women, like y'all love to, not all women, let me take that back, but women love to come back off the rebound just like that. Men, we really like soak it in. It's just like, damn, did she just say what I think she just said? But it's just like, I can take it. But I look back and it's just like, wait a minute. You did that same thing before as well. And it's like, don't put me on a burner when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? So now we go into the situation where she's teaching me so many different things about not just being a husband, a future husband, but being a father as well. Because like I said, having custody of my son and having a daughter, she has the third and fourth eye on something that I'm doing wrong. Of course. So being that relationship coach, she's being that relationship bonus mom as well. Of course. So she's seeing things that I'm not doing right, or she sees that things that I can just slow down, lowering your voice down, don't show your anger towards them, take your time, or just going back into our relationship is just like, baby, you could have did this differently. So it's just like, you know what, you're right about that. And but it's almost 50-50 on how we give each other game on a lot of things. Like I give her game on other things in life, like street things in life. She'll tell me certain things about how I need to manage my way on, like in the corporate life, like responding to an email and it's like, baby, don't take it that way. Like he's not coming at, but it's like, you see all those exclamation marks? That means he's taking it that way. And it's just like a good, baby.
Per my last email.
Exactly. There you go.
Yes.
So you, the reason I ask is because I do watch when you post clips and things like that. You give some good advice. I want to make sure you were taking it on advice.
Thank you.
And it sounds like You are very much in control here. You have a podcast. You have all that. The media. You being on the media. Why don't you tell us where people can follow you and listen to your podcast and the name of it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, thank you. My website is jadasharice.com, so you can find all of my information there as far as the podcast. I have 2 books. Brokenness That Made Me Whole was my first book, and The Breakup Bible just dropped this past July. Yes. And the Breakup Bible is a step-by-step how-to guide that teaches women how to heal from their past relationship and how to actually move on from your ex. So I really want to teach women what I needed. Everything that I create, the resources, is exactly what I needed in my brokenness. So we talk about, what to do after the breakup. What do those first few weeks look like? I talk about moving on with or without closure, because sometimes you don't get that closure. I talk about the withdrawal period and how not to go back to your ex, as well as self-reflection and accountability. Like, we're quick to point the fingers, but maybe you were the problem in the relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to look in the mirror. And then that last chapter is wholeness. So I really want people to get whole with yourself and have that relationship with yourself before looking for a rebound or another man or another woman. So that's the Breakup Bible, and you can find that on my website as well. On Instagram, I'm Jada Sharice. The podcast is More Love with Lawrence. I changed the name to More Love with Lawrence for season 3 because Tyron and I, we gave our life and relationship tips, but it's usually more to the story. So that's my blog as well as the podcast, More to the Story. It's on the podcast. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. I feel like I'm talking fast. SoundCloud, Google Play, all of that. So you can follow me at Jada Sharice.
One thing that I really enjoy that you spoke on is the importance of healing.
Yes.
And there was somebody else here that exemplified that as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because you said you always make reference to you being in a bad relationship, toxic relationship, and you got out of it, and I'm glad you did. But tell us the importance of healing.
Yeah. When I first started writing, I was just writing in my phone, and my friend told me to, start a blog. And I was just like, I'm not a writer. What, babe?
I felt like I was the one who really.
He said, you're not gonna take nothing from him tonight, man.
I was writing in my phone, and I was talking about just my past relationship. And one thing that I thank God for is for Tyron, that he listens. And, he could easily be triggered, and not to say in the beginning he wasn't, but he's very supportive because he knows that it's bigger than me. I even told God, like, I don't want to write about brokenness anymore. Like, I'm not sad, I'm happy. And God told me it's bigger than you. So when I write and when I share my story, it's because I know that there's a million other women out there going through the same things that I went through. I didn't know what healing looked like. I didn't even know that it was the right way and the wrong way to heal. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sex it away. You can't drink it away. You can't date it away. You can't shop it away. And what is hidden will always come to the light. Absolutely. And that's even that healing that you haven't dealt with, or that emotional trauma. So I really want women to be able to prepare for the love life that they're praying for by healing first. And even if you feel like, well, I'm not broken, the thing is, you have to go backwards in order to go forward. Right. So if you're not finding anyone, or he's not finding you, what do you need to work on? Right. So I'm all about wholeness in addition to healing. And for me, I dealt with the things that I dealt with because, one, I put myself there. I didn't know how to heal. I didn't know what boundaries were. But I'm grateful for my past. Like, even meeting him in the midst of my healing and my brokenness, he was patient with me. He knew where I was coming from. So he did the most, or not the most, but you know what I mean? He really played his role to say, hey, I know she's been through some things. Let me tell her I got a child coming on the way. I want her to be able to trust me. Right. And when he told me that, I knew that I could trust him. I knew that this was a man. Number one, he didn't have to tell me that. We were friends. True. We never even said, I like you. I want to be with you. And I also knew that with him being truthful, no matter what somebody told me or it came in my inbox, I didn't already talk to him about it. We good. You know what I mean? Right. And that's the foundation that we've always had. But when it comes to healing, it's just there's so many pieces to healing. There's so much like healing that you can do for yourself. With healing, there's forgiveness. A lot of times we don't want to forgive other people, or we're blaming them, but forgiveness is for you.
It is.
You have to forgive your past. You have to talk about that childhood trauma, and just it's so many things that I like to do with my clients, which is deep reflecting. So let's go backwards in order to go forward. So.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
No,
Sometimes.
it's a podcast.
Hey, we
We're
want you to talk.
Right, keep talking.
And I have my own podcast. I don't know why I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, actually.
There you go.
Yes.
Sorry for what?
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
The less I have to talk, the better.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
Y'all been
When your woman start acting up, so just want me to be quiet.
Yes.
Kim, let's start talking about the love languages. There are 5 or 17 love languages.
Oh my goodness.
Why don't you go ahead and get into it?
Okay, so we love this question, whatever, and y'all do this, so I'm pretty sure y'all's will roll off your tongue. We'll start with you.
Okay.
What is your partner's love language? Words of affirmation, gift giving, quality time, acts of service, or physical touch?
Oh, and I gotta pick one.
No, you
Oh,
you whatever
okay.
his love languages are.
Words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I would say everything she just said, but I'll go a little more deeper, because this is the first relationship when I had to realize what love language was.
Oh wow. Okay.
And when I knew what it was, but this is my first relationship where I understood what it was.
Okay.
And getting close to her, and just touching her, just holding her hand while we driving, or just putting my hand on her lap, or just laying next to her in the bed, just rubbing her head, those type of things. And it's just like sometimes when you in a different mindset, coming from a different type of you don't that mushy.
It's not natural.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
And I think I don't like to blame my past, but it's just like not my mom not growing in a house, that affectionate love coming from my mom. So it's just like I love you, but it's just like I don't have that affection in it, and it's just like
Some people don't.
And it's just like a lot of people, she'll tell you about back. Like somebody tell me that they love me, I won't tell you I love you back. And it's just like I have love for that person, but I won't tell you that I love you back, or I won't just say, all right, love you too, man, or something like that, because it's just like I don't.
Is she the first woman that you've been in love with?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. Like real, genuine in love with, like nothing second thought, where it's just like, do I love her? It's like, like she can piss me off tomorrow. It's like, damn, I love her.
Ain't going nowhere. To this house.
Exactly.
Right.
And then it's just like the things that nobody taught me how to do it. I did it because of how I felt, like open the door for everywhere we go. Like pulling the chairs out, making sure I'm grabbing her coat at home. Sometimes, I slip up, where it's just like when a woman we get comfortable, you doing something like, baby, you ain't grab my coat or something.
But that's when communication comes in.
Exactly. And so also it's like when communication, you gotta also know, it's like if I did it 80 times, don't knock me for doing it, missing out on one time, or twice, or whatever the case may be. Like, okay, I'll put my coat up today.
Do you, and you kind of led into my next question, do you feel like you kind of battle with what you saw and where you come from? Now, you can come from, Winnetka and still be not get it right, but coming from where you come from, you can shout them out if you want.
No, I ain't gonna do nothing.
Okay. Do you feel like that's an inner battle with you, or you have to prove yourself wrong, or prove yourself to be different?
No, I am who I am around her. The funny thing is that I know they watching, but her family thinks that I'm just this goody Christian guy. Like, you grow around in the neighborhood, but you're this person, but they have no idea on who I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that I like to keep it. Oh, I'm a lame? Yep, I'm a lame.
Absolutely.
Yep. Oh, I'm a Christian? Yep, that's exactly who I am. But if you take you out of this realm of who you know, and to say, that's watch you make sure your daughter is safe. Like, I'm sorry, because y'all don't know him like we know him, and it's just like and I'll be honest.
But it's growth is real.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like a lot of things come from the kids, like growing like, okay, I got to get up out of that mindset from got kids. You know what I'm saying? But this woman has also made me feel comfortable. It's like, I ain't got to go on the block today. You know what I'm saying? Like my friends who I would be in the everyday talking to or whatever the case may be, they bringing you down. You know what I'm saying? They, come on, let's go down. I know what we going down there to do. You know what I'm saying? Not even to do nothing, but I know what's possibly that can happen. Exactly. So even if I do go outside, it's her praying over me, you know, baby, be careful, be safe, and things like that. And it's just like, you love that, but at the same time, it's just like, I'll put it like this. I don't want to hear it. Because I don't want to hear her tell me that, because I don't want that on my mindset, because you weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my wife loves me, but at the same time, when I'm thinking about her, a part of you gets weak. You know what I'm saying? So a certain part of your awareness gets blocked off, and she'll tell you like, I come home early. Like I never stay out late. I never stay out late. And but you know, your crowd they staying out late. I'll be the first one to leave, but nobody know that I left.
That's the Irish.
Like I will walk out and nobody know I left, and I'll pull up at the house and I'll open in the garage or knocking on the door, and she didn't even know it because of the fact, have fun, you know, but at the same time, this is just who I am now. And so just being in that relationship also has taught me that you ain't gotta live that life no more. Like you can still have your friends and things like that, but just be who you are, be cordial. Like you said, I'm a Christian guy. I'm the quiet, nice guy. It's hard to approach him. Like I know that I have that vibe too, where it's just like it's kind of hard to approach him. He don't say nothing. No, it's just I'm just aware of my surroundings. I like to watch people before, you know, I get into engaged and talking to you, because I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. I don't know who you are associated
and
with.
What you bring
and this world is, you know how this world is really big. I know people say this world is small, but the world is really small as well too, because it's like, oh, you know him from such and such, you know, it's just like, oh man.
Okay.
That's that street smarts.
You need both.
Yes, yes. And it's okay, because I'm a Christian lame guy too. I tell people where I'm from, they be like, oh, you for real? You sure you're not from Boys Town? But how do you all handle your exes? Both of you all have made reference to your past relationships. So how do they factor in today? I know you have children. You know, we'll start with you. Do you still keep in contact? Are they friends? Do you give them relationship advice? They might need some relationship advice. Let's go. You know? No, but go ahead.
What ex? Who?
I know that's
No,
right.
but not even in a bad way. But something I always say is Tyron has taught me not only how to be in a relationship with a man like him, but also how to keep a relationship. So when we first got together, I thought he was just always down my throat about stuff like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But he was teaching me, this is how you have a good relationship. You know what I mean? Like having that foundation. Don't nobody know your business. Everybody don't need to know where you live, where you work, and how much you making. Like literally, like all of that has changed. But when we first got together, we had our conversations where it's just like he told me the importance of knowing who is your past, what do they come with, you know, because I don't want to be around and you used to mess with this person. Like we had those conversations. So it's important to, hey, put it on the table. This is what happened. This is what it was. Because I don't want us to be 3-4 years down the line. It's just like, wait, so you never told me about that? And it's like, why are we even talking about it? Well, why we didn't talk about it when we first got together? You know what I mean? So no, I don't communicate with my exes, with my situationships, none of that. I wouldn't coach them. I wouldn't take them on as a client. So yeah, I mean, with us, communication is key, and even with, and I know he'll have his turn to talk about his past, but even being a bonus mom, I am always on the right side. I'm not just gonna ride for him because this is my husband. I correct him. I tell him, you shouldn't have responded like that. Okay, well say this instead. You know what I mean? Like we communicate. But I also, you know, in the beginning, I had to tell him what were triggers for me. So that's important, something I coach my clients on. You need to know your triggers.
Right.
You have to communicate that with your partner. He likes to have his phone with him in the bathroom, you know, watching his stuff that men do, you know, YouTube, whatever it is. But that was a trigger for me because with my past, that's how I knew he was cheating on me.
Got it. Okay.
So I had to communicate that with him. He's like, I'm just watching YouTube. You know what I mean? But it's communication.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we are so big on boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries can be with your exes. It could be with your old friends. It could be with family members.
Mm-hmm.
You have to protect your relationship, your peace, and your space. Go ahead, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was good.
It was okay.
I really look at the situation where it's not black and white, you know, like it's not easy for us to go into it because there's a lot of friends that we have, family that have open relationships where they talk about their past, like, and we'll just be sitting up like, you talking about him just like that?
I mean, dropping
Just
names
like
and stuff. We don't drop names.
Like we don't say like we'll say your past. You know what I'm saying? Like
Lord,
so it's just like
Yeah.
or such and such mother. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't bring up the fact, and it works for us. What works for you, it works for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's what's easy for us. Another thing is that we live in a world where it's so juvenile, where when you have a child's mother or a child's father, I need to bash her in front of you to show you that I'm not with her.
And
You know what I'm
that's a
saying?
red flag.
And I need,
huge.
but a lot of
Red
people,
flag.
a lot of people don't realize because they comfortable. Oh, he said F her, she ain't nothing. Or
Right,
he ain't
that's the
nothing.
word.
But one thing about like I never, no matter what any one of my kids' mothers have done, I've never bashed them in front of her. In my mind, I can't stand that. You know, like this stupid. You know, but at the same time, it's just like. I never tell her like she ain't this, she ain't you know this and that because at the same time this is my future child's mother.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like how can I be as a man, even though like that was past relationships, but how can I speak badly on that when I have my fiance right here and trying to speak that on them? So it's just like that's not who I am. And when the next thing I was just gonna say was that if we're gonna be something, if we're gonna grow, I have to show you that I'm not a child. I'm not a little boy. I'm not gonna go back into the fourth as in talking to. It ain't even just gotta be child's mother. Somebody an ex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Like because that's thing when we first got together, it was a little rocky about understanding certain things, and it was just like, look, I need to know what's going on because if such and such is around. I'm not going to be uncomfortable in my own skin, because everybody already think I'm standoffish as it is. So now it's just like, okay, now we got a problem.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
never are supposed to let your mate walk into any situation without knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even she may not know it, but guess what? Who's going to fall on you?
Right.
Because of the fact that this person runs with this person. They cool with this person. So why wouldn't you be in advance thinking, but you're not because you're not thinking about it, which is understandable, but it's still going to fall on you no matter what the situation may be.
We not friends with them on social media. Like,
Anything.
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so the last thing I was saying, just about like with her books and things like that, she writes and talk about her past a lot.
I do.
Like my mind it strengthened me so much about the past because it's just like damn man, I don't want to keep reading about this past. You know what I'm saying? Just like and now I sometimes used to get frustrated. Like, what is you still writing? What are you writing about? But it's like I understood her craft.
Yeah.
I understood what she was doing. I understand this is her getting out everything.
She has purged it.
Exactly. She's purging everything out onto that book on that pen and pad, as in this is what I went through. And what I would say that really strengthened me to be a better man because it's like some people can't deal with that. Like you deal with your own damn problems and like you steady writing about this. I can only imagine in my mind like the guy, she talking about me, like she care about me in my mind. But now me like no, she not really. You know what I'm saying? Just like she not. It's just like this is her on what happened with y'all. No matter if she was wrong, if you was wrong.
Right.
Like that's what it is.
Oh, I love that.
I know that you have the title relationship coach, but I think we're a relationship coach too.
I've learned
Now
a
look,
lot.
what I want to understand is when can we set up his class? Because wow.
I was just gonna say, coming up on our on our podcast, we have an episode from a man's perspective.
Oh, okay.
So I asked Tyron a ton of questions, and he answered from a man's perspective. And another episode is having friends of the opposite sex.
Oh.
So that was interesting.
How do y'all feel about that?
We don't have friends of the opposite sex.
There you go.
We're
And
not.
it was funny to say it on the podcast, like, wait, we don't have friends of the opposite sex.
And it's not to a point like because we're together. Oh, we just don't have it. Like, no, ain't none of that. It's just we just don't. Before we got together, it was
right.
But the craziest way how the world moves, as soon as we get together,
They just
my girl, best
You're a
friend,
female friend.
Sorry, my female best friend
friends.
ran away. Her male friend just got it off, and it was literally.
Well, I'm gonna ask the question:
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that y'all friends actually liked y'all and was waiting their turn?
That's something that I brought up.
Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's something that I had brought up, and I don't think that she did.
Okay.
But it's like, how do I not think? Like, okay, so I come around. She hasn't asked about me. She hasn't asked about our relationship. Y'all not friends no more. Like, she feels some type of way. But that wasn't until just in August we had just a conversation with our friends.
Right.
But until then it was just like, I don't know what the issue is. I really don't care.
Oh.
But
what about you with him?
With my friend, I don't really know. I know that he did not like me.
Okay.
But when I say I don't know why he fell off, I don't know. But I even talked to him and I was just like, we ain't talked, we ain't text.
Right.
We used to text and FaceTime.
Right.
And I had told him, that looks, weird now that I'm with somebody and we don't talk anymore.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, both of y'all, want both of y'all to know y'all best friends was just waiting their turn.
You think
and
so?
I do.
Well, I'll say a little bit on
mine
that.
is different in its own way because my
This
friend.
is from a man's perspective.
Okay.
My friend is her child's father, and they're together.
Wait a minute. Her friend.
Your
friend.
friend that's his baby's mother.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay,
we've known each other since we were 5 years old.
Never mind, that's different.
From the neighborhood, but that doesn't.
That don't mean nothing.
But she got a child with your friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible, but I don't think so. But I'm just saying, like, people would be like, well, she with my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some women don't have morals and
Oh no,
standards,
that 100% I agree
So
with. Oh yeah, no. I know women that have stayed around to wait their turn. Yeah, and that goes both ways. So no, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's also different when you have new friends. You know what I mean? Like y'all been in a relationship and now you got this new friend. How? From where? You know what I mean?
I'm not an advocate of the new friend.
Yeah.
Now,
unless you're in a relationship, does that bring you some security or comfort?
See, no. This is my thing because as adults or whatever, it becomes very rare that you actually make new friends. Now, associates, work people, stuff like that, especially if you work in corporate America, you gotta, we gotta do it to, to get along. That's fine. But if you just pop up with a new friend that's a woman, I don't really care if she's married, if she's in a long-standing relationship, because I'm just like, what is she not getting from her mate that she needs to kind of stick you in this box? So, like I said, now you come in with the friend, respectfully, like, y'all, I'm fine with it. It's okay. But now you come to me 2-3 years down the line, like, oh yeah, me and Ashta is going out for drinks. So it's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My brother said he disagrees with all of this, so we'll wait and see if he comments. I know he's just talking, but we'll see.
No, being friends with his brother's wife now.
Okay.
Okay, Pooh. I met Pooh in DeKalb 2002.
Oh, okay.
And at that time, her and Mario were fresh, at that time. And our friendship grew, as her relationship grew. Stephanie was there too.
Of course.
But there was a difference for me from when she was married and when she wasn't married.
Okay.
So once we know that things are, getting to that marriage point, phone calls, I'm not as
reluctant
around. I wasn't reluctant because Mario and I were always cool, but you know, it's like, okay, this is, you know, marriage material. Let me back up. Even when I got married, you know, you have to give people their space, and you can see where you're welcome at, and you know, because you know, sometimes you know the invites may stop, you know, everything. So I just kind of feel out the people and the situation.
Yeah.
So but a lot of people are not like that. Some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
Even if you may not like the person, you may still feel some type of way about trying to be their friend. You know, once they get a boyfriend, you don't want to compete. You don't want no drama, so you just say, forget it. I'm just going to exit stage left.
Right.
Yeah.
See, the only issue I have with that is people start to make decisions for you. Like, even like some of my female friends is just like, well, you with him now? Like, I didn't invite you because I thought y'all would be out, and oh, you busy, and you know what I mean? Like, I've lost friends because of that, and it's just like, invite me. Like, let me make my own decision.
Right.
Even though I'm in a relationship, but like you said, some people can't handle that. They don't know where they fit in anymore, so then they completely remove themselves. Maybe that's what happened with our best friends. Well, his best friend, my friend, you know.
Right.
So yeah, people just start to make decisions for you, and it's just like, I mean, just communicate, you know.
I think also too, and I don't mean this in a negative ways. Actually, sometimes that shows that your friends are not really your friends because they don't know how to be in a happy space with you.
Yeah.
So if you've been bitter, if you've been broken, if you have been, you know, the type of group dynamic that's how y'all move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've never seen you in happiness. So now that you're in happiness, where do I fit?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to be the same? Can we communicate the same? Because now we're not, you know, sitting in the room or sitting on the couch or sitting at dinner bashing our exes or bashing your child's mother, father, or whatever it is. So sometimes when those people don't invite you and stop adding you to the, you know, invite list, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, you should kind of know people's character, you know, even, you know, when you're friends, you can kind of see that, okay, well, they may not be around here too long, but things change.
True.
A whole lot of that.
Y'all have done such a great job kind of breaking all of this down, especially starting from the beginning of the story and him being firm in the fact that his happiness was just as important as yours.
Yeah.
But in general, in your relationship, now who's responsible for your happiness?
Who's responsible
For your happiness?
I feel like I am.
Okay.
And I say that because I'm the head of the household.
Come on.
And by being the head of the household, it's my job to always keep my home safe, happy, loved, protected, financial stable, and whatever other things that you can name. It's always my job to go outside and do something to make them happy. If it's bringing flowers, if it's bringing toys, if it's making sure that she has enough to cook, making sure like you need help, if it's me sitting at the island talking to her as she's cooking, if it's me I'm playing the game but she want to go upstairs and it's like damn, but then it's like I go upstairs with her because at the same time she's gonna wake up in a better mood. She's not gonna be texting me 30 minutes saying that I'm selfish or you know, those type of things. Yes, she plays.
I've never texted him.
No, but and don't get me wrong, being the can she cook?
It's my brother.
You should know you the brother.
And with her being the woman of the household, yes, she has a bunch of different attributes, cooking, cleaning, and things like that. But it's my job to make sure she's in a position to do those things. When she's gonna do it no matter what, but she's happy doing it. She doesn't have to say, I'm tired of cleaning this damn house up, because I know that I have an assignment at some point as let me get these dishes because I don't want to do it. Let me clean up this living room.
Right.
Even though whatever it may be. So it's just like, I feel like it's my job to make sure our household is happy no matter what.
I love that.
I love it too, but I disagree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love everything that you said, babe. But I really think in our relationship, our happiness starts by ourselves. Because we can't pour from an empty cup. You know what I mean? So if I'm happy, I'm gonna give you happiness. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pour into you. I have that energy. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. You know what I mean? But he knows, like one time I did a playcation because I wasn't happy with myself. So with my playcation, I booked a hotel room, I want to say for 4 nights. I went to a hotel, I left him and Cameron at home, and they just kind of had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I just needed to spend time with God, with myself, because I was tired. I didn't feel fulfilled. And with him, you know, men are different when they are not financially stable or they bottle a lot of things up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he has to be happy by Tyron first in order to make Jada happy.
Right.
I have to be happy in order to make him happy.
Absolutely.
But everything that you said is great and I love it.
Yeah,
And
but you said you disagree.
no, I mean I kind of agree.
But I think both of y'all said the same thing, because you said that you're responsible for your happiness, but you stepped it up a notch and said you're also responsible for the happiness in your household. So he actually said that he was responsible for his happiness.
I get that.
Yeah, he was just saying in general, his making himself happy.
You don't like some disagreeing with
Making
him.
him happy.
No,
That is
it's-
making his household happy.
She knows.
But he said, I'm responsible for our happiness.
Which is my happiness as well. So in order for
Don't be changing your
Look,
life.
so the thing how I look at this situation is that she knows it, that I would give, if she had a cold, she know that I would rather take her cold. If the kids had a cold, I would take their cold. If something was wrong, I'm gonna be the person, like I would deal with it and go to work feeling like
Got
that.
it.
Before COVID, of course. But before anything happened, though, I would be the person willing to sacrifice my body, my mindset, for her to stay at home and I go outside to go do this, no matter the case may be. So what I look at it is just like, I just made $200, $300 for the day. I can sell her that money.
Right.
You ain't gotta do nothing. Go to the store, grocery shop, get this cooked for the day, or whatever the case may be. So my way of looking at it is like, I'm doing something to make sure my household is in good.
Is happy. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, babe, I wasn't gonna say that. Okay, well, Erica agrees, you know, she agrees with you that he did say that. So I'm woman enough to say I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He did say it. He said the same thing, and yeah, that's what happened.
A few hours ago, you posted about something that happened in 2016.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
In 2016, I was having severe stomach pains, and I was having stomach pains throughout the week, like at cheer practice and stuff. I was in college, living up north, and I was having these stomach pains, but I was just taking, you know, Tylenol or ibuprofen. But then this one night, I just could not sleep, and I'm getting emotional.
Oh, now. Oh, like I can't give you none of these.
It's okay. I don't want none of those.
I know.
It's okay. Take your time.
Anthony, you didn't say I was gonna be crying.
Well, I just
No, it's okay. No, this is a story that should be told or whatever.
See your mama talking.
What'd she say?
No, I cannot.
Oh, mommy.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't sleep, and I had took some Tylenol, and I just kept waking up, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive to the hospital. So I drove to the hospital. What should have been 5 minutes took me like 15 minutes to get there, because every time like I went over like a bump or something in the road, it was just like severe. It hurt so bad. So Lincoln Park up north, as y'all know, parking is terrible. Like you can never find a parking spot up there. But it was a park right in front of the emergency room. So I'm just like, thank you, Lord. Exactly. So I went in there and I just told them like, I'm losing conscious, like my stomach is hurting really bad. So then they called me back like 5 minutes later, and then they just told me they were trying to get the machines up and running, and just a gentle press like this on my stomach, really gentle. I was just like, oh my God, excruciating pain. So the machine isn't working. Now these doctors and nurses, they are arguing in front of me, get the machine up, and I'm just like, what is happening? We still don't know what's wrong with me.
Right.
They finally got the machine up, and then they said, you have to go to emergency surgery. And I'm just like, what? So I sent 2 text messages, and I signed my life away. I'm signing papers,
Ooh,
you know,
'cause they
if
make you
something,
say yes.
if something goes wrong, you can't sue us. So they rolled me to the surgery room, and I'm signing these papers and whatever, and I'm praying.
You by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Oh,
it's
God.
5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm by myself. Never had surgery before. So thank you, baby. So as I'm signing these papers, I just remember going into the surgery room. They laid me on the table, and I seen a cross on the surgeon's necklace, and I just knew God was with me. And I just went to sleep, but they told me that I had a cyst that had ruptured.
Oh my God.
But it was fluid all over, you know, internally, and they needed to drain that, and they told me that I had 10 minutes to live. Because I kept telling them I have to use the bathroom, I have to come to the bathroom. And they was just like, you don't understand, you have 10 minutes to live. We need to go to surgery right now.
Girl, my goodness.
I didn't know if I was going to wake up. But when I did wake up, I remember them asking me, you know, what's your date of birth and what's your name? And they took me to the recovery room, and then my family was there. And it was just so good to know that I was like alive for real. Like she asked me my name and stuff, but just to see my family, it's like, okay, I made it through surgery.
Of course.
And I'm laying in the bed, and I'm getting ready to get discharged. And who texts me? Tyron. We're friends at this point, and he texts me, and he was just like, hey, how you doing, young lady, or something he used to say, and it just irritated me. And it's just like, he was just like, how you doing, young lady, like, how's your day going? And I had told him, like, I actually just got out of surgery, and he was just like, you know, are you serious, or whatever. So yeah, that's what happened.
Oh
and
my goodness.
every year he usually gives me like a lot of balloons, and it's just emotional because on my birthday, seeing those balloons could be like,
it wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be, but when we have it could be a balloon release for me. But instead, we're celebrating on my birthday every year. Yeah, I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah,
so.
amen.
Amen to that. Sweet petite is
What is she saying?
She said I took care of a girl in ICU. Ended up on the ventilator, and she barely made it. You are a blessing. Thank you for sharing that story
you so much
with us.
And that's why Black women, please take yourselves to the OBGYN every year, please.
Yeah.
Girl, because soon as you said this, and amazingly, because Black women in those type of situations, especially in hospitals, are always not looked after. So it is definitely by God's grace.
I just had a surgery last year in November, and what you're saying is so true. Like, we have to keep advocating for ourselves. Because they told me, like, you're fine. They sent me to physical therapy. I said, this isn't working. I told my doctor, I want to have surgery. And then in November, they found endometriosis. And then that was removed.
Right.
I asked you 2 years to give me surgery, and they finally gave me surgery.
Do you have a Black doctor?
No. But I did my research. That's another thing. I did my research on the doctor that I did have.
Okay.
And I wanted someone who specialized in the previous surgery that I had.
Got it.
So many times you just go to Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever, and you find a doctor. I did my research. I looked her up. I read the reviews, and I love her. Like, I love her.
Well, I got a Black doctor for you too. Just slide you her card.
What is yours saying? I'm not even gonna read that.
Well, Tyron and Jada, we thank you all for being here with us today and sharing your Black love story and journey. You all have been great, and don't think that you talk too much. That was just
it was fantastic.
Awesome. It was awesome.
First engaged couple, one of the best couples that came out and just gave everything. We appreciate y'all.
That's right.
Thank you so
It was
much.
amazing.
That's right.
Yes.
And I usually have to ask this question about how God has been influential in your relationship, but you all took that out the cards
Day one.
from the beginning, and I think that you all are a testament to how you can be trying to get rid of each other, and
God said no.
And God said, "This is what I have planned for you," and it's a great thing that you all answered the call.
Amen.
And continued success and more success, and beautiful wedding and children, whatever it has in store, just keep God first, and everything will be all right.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Give us,
Thanks,
you have a lot of things that you need to shout out before we end tonight. You can start with the shirts that we have on.
Yes.
Love the shirt.
Billionaire Progress. You can shop with us at billionaireprogress.com. We're also on Instagram at Billionaire in Progress Apparel. My website is jadasharice.com. As you know, I am a relationship coach. I help women heal from their past relationships and prepare for the love life that they're praying for. So book a call with me. Our podcast, More Love with Lawrence. Right now we're finishing up season 3. So an episode drops every Sunday. We have a new one coming up this Sunday, which is dating after a long-term relationship. It's going to be so good. Ooh. Yes, More Love with Lawrence. That's our podcast. And then my blog is More to the Story. And you can follow me on all social media at Jada Sharice.
All right. Thank you for that. Make sure we all support and follow the Lawrences. Tyron, thank you, sir,
Thanks
for
for having us.
filling us out and then saying, hey.
Because remember, he was like, pull a mic up close, we're talking low, but then he projected.
Oh, no, he was here.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you all. And so very proud of you and
Thank
the
you
man
so
that
much.
you have grown and matured into, and just keep that other life in your back pocket. You never know.
You don't go away too far.
Never drops his guard.
Never. The actual and factual Kim Smith, we will see you in about 23 hours or so. We'll be right back here with season 7 debut of our Best Friends show. We try to get best friends in to come and show their love and appreciation for each other. I don't use the term best friend, but
he has best friends.
Who is your best friend?
I don't have best friends.
He has best friends. He just doesn't use the term best friend.
Okay.
Oh, let me ask another man in the room.
Yeah.
Do you have best friends?
No.
Okay, never mind. He was bad.
I mean, this is my best friend right here.
Okay. But do you have male best friends?
No, I had a male best friend.
Okay.
I mean, but certain things happen, and then it's like
Life happened, but he was your best friend.
I did have a best friend.
He had a best friend.
Okay. He had.
You're right.
So let me ask, did you ever flew Jada out somewhere? Last night we did a show on.
Yeah, I flew out to New York.
Oh, you flew out to New York before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Before y'all were together or after?
No, but it was, that's what he's saying, but it was different. My brother even just commented, he died a few times, but thank God he's still here.
Amen.
But he flew me out there. That was like one of my Christmas gifts. And it's hard for us to be separated, so I really appreciated him just understanding, like, I figure the food out, I'm gonna miss you, but go be with your family. So I was in New York for a few weeks.
It's hard for her to be separated because I'll be gone for a minute and 10 seconds and shit. What time are you coming home? The garage just went down. What are you talking about? And it's
Can
just
you
like,
be honest? Because you've been honest this whole show.
I'm being honest.
But
you are
actually
more
worked
attached to me than I am to you.
What?
You are. You know that you're more like just a little more clingy.
Baby,
That is a good thing.
you get the crying. I had to go and work for Task Force to Arizona.
He
She was crying the first night that I was on the phone.
I did not cry.
Ain't nothing
First
wrong with
off,
that.
he went to Arizona to work
I said Task Force.
for a month or something.
It was 2 weeks.
Oh, well, 2
2
weeks.
weeks.
But it's like 2 months.
Whoa.
But that was a lot for me.
Yeah,
Was it not a lot?
2 weeks is a lot.
The good thing is we love each other, right?
Yeah, and the good thing is that what you did, you doing that, got him trained to come home early.
Trained?
No,
Yeah.
she ain't got me
No,
trained.
not in that way, but
He
you know,
respects me to come home early.
you know that's what she likes.
Yes.
So it's for her to hear the garage open. You said this out your mouth tonight.
What's
You
that?
did.
If she hears the garage open, she not expecting you that early. You know that makes her feel good. So that's all.
I
You
mean, you gotta
That's
get them points. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Yes.
I All right, Kim, safe. Well, you'll be back tomorrow.
I'll be back
You'll be back tomorrow, and then you can go back to Carbondale. Finish some Carbondale, so then she
Born
can
and
go.
raised.
Nice
Yeah.
5 hour
Born and
drive.
raised. Finally, somebody can know. People like
Okay.
7, 8 hours. Yes,
No, it's
we can
5
do it in
hours.
4.5.
Yeah, you can do it for him. That's
Oh, okay,
long
just
drive.
slow down through Effingham.
There you go.
All right, thank you all so much. Give it up
Thank
for
you.
the Lord.
Thanks for having us, y'all.
God bless you all. We out.
All right.
All right, thanks y'all for tuning in.
Have a couple of
It
drinks.
started to
Okay, well, you turn these off.
I am.
Okay.
it started to kick in the later half of the show. Huh?
What?
Yeah, people usually drop off in the beginning, you know, as you start to
Well,
get the
they
show
see
started. But
stuff.
if they come in on the conversation, like what they talking about, then they
Oh,
keep
there's
listening.
definitely stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why y'all